Yahoo Fantasy Football, the Tucson Tackle Dummies League, has completed Week 16. The semifinal week is in the books. Let's get straight to the four matchups that will decide who will play for 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th in the final week of the NFL regular season. In the first of two semifinal matchups to decide who will play for the championship, the Pain Trains knocks off Fight, Smash, Win in the tightest playoff game in league history, winning by less than a point, 135.15 to 134.37. Absolute heartbreak for Fight, Smash, Win, and total victory for the Pain Trains. Pain will advance to their first championship in their 3 years in the league. Fight will now move on to face Pancakes for 3rd place next Sunday. The Vic to Selleck matchup was crucial in deciding who walked away the winner here, as Michael Vick and Brent Selleck, teammates on the Philadelphia Eagles, wound up helping Pain and Smash trade the lead towards the end of the final game of the week held on Tuesday, which is why we're all waiting around till Thursday to actually get this video done. The Vic to Selleck battle was very interesting, too, as Vic put up 21.82 points, but a lot of his passes and completions were thrown to Brent Selleck. Vic, owned by Fight Smash Win, through to Pain Trains Brent Selleck. So 12.2 points out of Brent Selleck. That was his second best performance of the season for Brent Selleck, who was otherwise non-existent throughout the season, while Michael Vick actually scored under projections. This wound up allowing Brent Selleck to score just enough points towards the end of the game, with a couple of catches in garbage time, no less, to seal the deal for Pain Trains. These two teams had a valiant battle, though. They went blow for blow at nearly every position. Fight had the two highest scorers in the matchup, with Michael Vick and Sebastian Janikowski, who posted 19 points at kicker. At the quarterback spot, Fight won that with Michael Vick's 21.82 to Eli Manning, who had a decent week with 17.24 for Pain. At tight end, Tammy for Fight Smash Win had 16.55, while Brent Selleck had the 12.2 that we mentioned. So Fight Smash Win won at tight end as well. And then Fight Smash Win also won at kicker, with Sebastian Janikowski's 19 to the very respectable 15 out of Neil Rackers. And then running back, similar stories for both teams. Each team started 3 running backs. LeGarrette Blount for Fight had 16.95. The other 2 running backs started, though, had just 13.7 combined. That was Ray Rice and Peyton Hillis. Hillis posted just a 4.25 this week. Very disappointing for Fight. For Pain Trains, Steven Jackson had 13.45 for the Rams. The other 2 running backs combined for just 14.05, including the disappointing performance out of Noshawn Moreno, who had 4.35 in the battle this week. Pain then turned around and doubled up Fight on defense. Fight has been pretty good on defense all season, but Pain put it to him this week on the defensive side of the ball. Pain had 20 points at defensive back this week, including 14.5 out of Eric Berry. And then Pain's defensive linemen combined for 18 points this week. Fight had 11.5 out of defensive back Ed Reed, but the rest of the defense combined was just 12.5 points. So Pain wound up dominating the defensive side of the ball. In the other matchup to decide who will play for the championship in the Tucson Tackle Dummies League, Big Ben's Revenge blows out Delicious Pancakes 155.67 to 100.84. Big Ben advances to the championship in their 2nd year in the league, beating Pancakes after suffering 2 regular season losses to Pancakes during the course of the season. Pancakes fails to reach the title game for the first time in team history in the 3 years of the league. This will be the first year that Pancakes is not playing for the championship. This team will move on to face Fight Smash Win for the 3rd place matchup next week. Pancakes had the lowest score of any week all season this week, had the lowest score of any team this week as well. Only 4 players beat projections. Very disappointing week, as Maurice Jones-Drew had to sit out. Backup Rashad Jennings for the Jacksonville Jaguars, combined with Brandon Jackson and the Green Bay Packers, scored just 12.25 points working together. And at tight end, Antonio Gates out again. And backup Aaron Hernandez for New England for Delicious Pancakes was also out. So Pancakes had to go to 3rd tight end option, Randy McMichael, the backup to Antonio Gates in San Diego. He scored just 1.8 this week, while the other tight end in this battle, Big Ben's Zach Miller, scored 14.85 to really capitalize on Pancake's weak showing at tight end. Pancake's found success with the Ravens tandem, though. Joe Flacco to Derek Mason combined for 24.68 points. And then Big Ben countered that with the highest individual score of any player this week. Jamal Charles had 24.7 at running back. That helped to overcome the fact that Michael Turner, fellow running back for Big Ben, scored just 2.8 this week. Big Ben also countered with a good performance out of some mediocre wide receivers as Miles Austin and Devon Best combined for 27.25 this week. And then Big Ben dominated defense, 57.5 to 33. Big Ben had the New England defense for 24 points, and his IDPs, his individual defensive players, combined for 33.5. In the consolation bracket semifinal matchup, Is This the CFL knocked off Polax 135.79 to 117.85. This is CFL's first postseason victory in team history, advancing them to the 5th place matchup to take on Jammed Toe. Polax now 0-4 lifetime in postseason play. Will have one more shot to win a postseason game next week against Bucknuts. CFL won with help from everywhere. Quarterback Phillip Rivers had 13.44. Wide receiver Mario Manningham had a team high with 22.2. Running back Adrian Peterson, who almost didn't play, wound up returning 17.15. Tight end Brandon Pettigrew had 14.4. And kicker Josh Brown, signed off of waivers by CFL this week, picked up 12 points at kicker. And then the Kansas City defense at the team defense slot scored 14 points for CFL. CFL did have the game high, though, with 23.55 out of Kellen Winslow at tight end. Chipping in 22.8 was Dwayne Bowe, bouncing back from a couple of bad performances at wide receiver. But the rest of the offense, minus those two players, scored just 25.5 combined. Part of that was because of the fact that Polax started Donovan McNabb at quarterback and got 0 points out of Larod Stevens Howling at running back. Polax did manage to win defense, though, outscoring CFL 46-44, thanks in large part to defensive back Greg Toller of the Arizona Cardinals, who scored 17.5 this week. And then Polax also had the Baltimore defense for 12 points. In the final matchup of the week, Jammed Toe knocked off Bucknuts 150.68 to 123.76. Toe advances to the 5th place game with the victory, while Buck falls to the 7th place game. Is now 0-2 lifetime in postseason play in their first and last year in the league. Toe had 8 players in double digits with a game-high 23.9 out of Matt Forte. And the 3 wide receivers for Toe, Roddy White, Tampa Bay's Mike Williams, and Percy Harvin combined for 40.55. Bucknuts had a good day at running back, though. Jarvis Green Ellis and Arian Foster combined for 31.45. Peyton Manning at quarterback chipped in 19.66, but Bucks started the inactive Dez Bryant in his flex spot. Toe then won defense 46.5 to 40.5 on the heels of Patrick Willis's 16 points at linebacker and 11 points out of Dante Whitner at defensive back. Buck countered with 35.5 from DBs Antoine Winfield and Dominique Rogers-Cromartie. Both defensive backs had a great week, putting up 35.5 points combined, but the rest of the Buck defense combined for just 5 points, including no points out of the Seattle Seahawks defense. Now, looking ahead to next week, the final week of the season, Week 17, Championship Sunday, and we will decide who will win the 2010 Tucson Tackle Dummies League Championship. In your title game, number 1 Payne Trains will take on number 6 Big Ben's Revenge. This will be Payne's 3rd straight playoff matchup against the Wildcat division, a division that Payne did not have to face at all in the regular season. These teams only faced off one time last year. They have no history in the 2010 schedule. The matchup will pit the 4th and 5th highest scoring teams during the regular season against each other. Both teams ranked in the top 4 in scoring individually at just 2 positions, though. Payne was 2nd best during the regular season at defensive lineman. Big Ben was 4th, and then Big Ben was 2nd best at linebacker during the season. Payne was 4th at linebacker himself. Payne did, however, rank higher in overall scoring than Big Ben at running back, kicker, and defensive back. However, Big Ben was better than Payne at quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and team defense. So Big Ben certainly got a shot against a team that has not lost in hasn't lost since week 3. Week 3 was the last time this team lost. So Big Ben has a mountain ahead to climb, but definitely has the tools to do it. In the third place game, the 2010 Tucson Tackle Dummies League third place game, we'll see Delicious Pancakes number 2 take on number 5 Fight Smash Win. Fight actually beat Pancakes twice during the regular season. Pancakes still managed to take the Wildcat division, though. Fight wound up winning both matchups by a combined 40.89. This matchup will see the top 2 scoring teams in the league face off against each other for third. In the fifth place matchup, Jammed Toe will take on Is This the CFL in a family rivalry. These two teams met week 6, with Toe winning by over 30 points. Toe comes into this matchup as the 3rd overall team in scoring during the regular season. CFL was 6th in team scoring throughout the course of the regular season. And in your 7th place matchup, Polax will take on Bucknuts. Number 4 Polax, number 7 Bucknuts. Neither team has ever won a postseason game. So unless these two teams manage to miraculously tie, and I wouldn't put it past them, somebody's finally going to win a postseason game. Polax 0-4 now in postseason play. Bucknuts 0-2. These two teams met week 7. Bucknuts won that by over 37 points. Polax did have the highest average per start score at wide receiver and was 3rd in the same category at tight end. Bucknuts was 3rd in average per start at running back and linebacker, so it should certainly be a competitive contest. So I hope to see you back next week as we wrap things up in the 2010 Tucson Tackle Dummy season, and we crown a champion, a new champion in the league.